my name is Shani Samuti and I'm running for president in IEM.
Hello, my name is Nohapat and I'm running for president in IEM.
For the first question, if you win the election, what will you do to reduce the inequality of the economic problems? Can we start with Opal?
If I won the election, the first thing I would do to reduce the inequality is changing the minimum wage, which is necessary for everyone, no matter what job that you do. This kind of thing is always connected to you. Also reduce the public transportation fare, be reasonable because our money and fare must be consistent. We can reduce this through tax and benefit systems by using our representative to negotiate with other countries and improve regulation of global financial markets, or you can improve the export products and encourage the investment too.
So I agree with her because in Thailand, minimum wage is guaranteed for using each day, such as in Bangkok. People think that BTS fare is so expensive and they should have their own car, so that it's not necessary for them to use BTS. And what about people who don't have enough money to buy a car? Yes, they must use the BTS and it's too expensive for them.
Okay, so I also agree with her in increasing minimum wages and transferring more income. As you can see, economic inequality means unequal access to wealth and income. I would like to recommend to reduce directly by decreasing the incomes of the richest or by increasing the incomes of the poorest by using tax as tools. We will increase taxes for people who have high income and decrease taxes who have low income. Also, increasing employment or wages and transferring income. Next, a well-educated country is capable, skilled, and well-off country. Education will reduce the opportunity gap between people. They all have equal to become what they wanted and give enough wages.
But for me, I have the different opinion from them. I think I will support about the tourism in our country because I think it can help the people in every province to get their job easier. I think many people don't have chance to get their job in a good company in every province around the country. If they have their own landmarks to support our tourism, the people in our country can get more jobs. It also helps with the income distribution too, because the rich people will go traveling and spend their money, so poor people can have more chance to make money.
Okay, thanks for the answers. And let's move to the next question. In your opinion, what do you think about the poverty of the people in your country? Let's start with Nampur.
I think our economic problem is that there are a big gap between rich and poor people. As a matter of fact, rich people can afford better education than poor people because in Thailand's education standards are not the same in every school. If you want to have more chance than others, then you have to study in a good education system. So after you graduated, you will get into a better job. Otherwise, if our country give more attention to education system and make every school have the same standard, then I think this is the way to solve this problem.
For me, I think that poverty shouldn't have in our country. Why the president is saying that the people still be a poor people because they don't have a chance to get more job. People always think about what school that you graduate. If you just graduate from high school, they will make one question: why don't you study in university? And that is the reason why they didn't get a job. I think it doesn't matter. Everyone had their own reasons. Most of them didn't study in university because they didn't have enough money to study. And this is a big problem that we should take interest and improve it.
Okay, so in my opinion, poverty is one of the main problems many countries have been encountered with. Since, as I said, poverty is one of the main problems, they also connect to other problems too. Poverty makes some people suffer and lack of opportunities. Without it, nothing would be worse than not getting a job or be able to continue almost everything. I would like to give opportunities to others by creating jobs, let them access education. Not just the education, also improve the economics. We are giving equality to all genders wage gap. If we can close the gap, we might be able to help working women and their families too.
From my point of view, I agree with all of them. Poverty is the thing that shows how unfair inequality and unmanageable our country is. Yes, not everyone has one rich. If you're curious, but let me ask you a question and think why did we don't rich even we work very hard? If it's not from the government systems, this problem comes from many factors. For example, many people are lack of education and they also lack of job too, and it's often due to the overpopulation, conflict or climate change, and it's also from the lacking of education. Some people still trust that girl or woman shouldn't study and your duty is only be a good wife. But this is 2020 now. This thought should be gone already. The thing that we can do are invest in affordable education and provide the work equally.
Thanks for the answer, and let's move to the next question. How can you reduce the carbon emission from the factories? Let's start from Bang.
We reduce carbon emission by switching to a lower carbon of the same material can reduce carbon. Not just reducing the carbon emission, but also give the product more designs and biodegradable. The key to successful material substitution is to choose a new material with the similar properties to the original. For example, using paper bags or tote bags will help reduce carbon, and we can circulate those materials by planting it back and become a cycle.
I also agree with her. The highest global volume of carbon emission on record is by the man-made climate crisis, being at the top of the priority list for many people at the nations. Nowadays, we can see many more businesses become greener and more eco-friendly, but to reduce this problem, we should normalize all of this way. I would write the new rules like eco-design engineering. From my research, manufacturers can lower carbon emission by considering the environmental impact of a product. It wouldn't change straightly, but it will change in the process from time to time.
In the other hand, I think we should campaign every factory to reducing it. We should educate them about how it affects our world, our health, and our life. If they know about that disadvantage, maybe they will change it, or we should send the staff to consult them with this problem. We should find about the method how to solve it, and what else can we do besides the carbon emission.
Yeah, so I agree with Amber. The first thing that I would like to do is providing the place for every factory far away from a community, and then I will educate them about the effect of carbon emissions and how we can reduce it, and make them aware of the problem that make the air pollution problems. And if they don't care about this problem and still giving out smoke, I will punish them because carbon emissions make air pollution problems.
For the answer, and next question is, in your opinion, what do you think about the air pollution and what laws will you implement to reduce it? Let's start with Mew.
For me, I think that air pollution is the one of the most serious problems in the world. Air pollution can cause long-term and short-term health effects. It's found that young children are more affected by air pollution. The air pollution is the one of the biggest threats for the environment and affects everyone. So we can solve it like riding a bike, walking instead of driving, or using transportation, turning off right when you are not busy.
And for me, I do agree with Mio because I think that air pollution is one of the biggest problems because of its effect on people's health. And to solve the problems, if we take a look at the cause of it, it's from vehicle and industrial factories. So you need to have a time limit to use both of this stuff. To clarify, there are several things that you can do by yourself, including reduce your driving and use public transportation. And if you need to drive, you should keep your car in a good shape and make sure that your tires and systems are still good and the base quality. And the last thing, if you see polluting car or truck, please report to the Department of Transportation.
I actually disagree with her, even though having a time limit is one of the ways to solve the problem. But in my opinion, it might not help us for permanently. Air pollution is not safe for our human being. All the effects are very dangerous. such as global warming, climate change, extinction of animal species, and respiratory health problems. I recommend using odd and even numbers of cars, license plates. We will support people to use public transportation and walk or riding bicycle if you need a short traveling. To reduce air pollution as much as we can, and there will be new update in the future.
But for me, I think the air pollution affects many living things, such as human and animals. It is the cause of global warming. And I guess everyone knows about how bad is it. Global warming makes our earth hotter and it affects many animals. It is the cause of climate change too. The laws that I will implement is don't produce the air pollution in every way, especially to burn things because that is the main point that produce the air pollution. We should use more public transportation so everyone will use this car. I will improve and build more public transportation so that will be convenient for everyone to use it too.
Well, how can you improve the quality of the products export out of Thailand?
For me, I think we have to produce the product that other country can buy only in Thailand. Maybe it will be the plants that can grow well only in Thailand. We should have the scientists to help us for the genetic modification. And after we have our own product, we have to check every time before we export it to other country and make sure that they have enough equality.
I disagree with her. As you can see from the international markets, that rice and dry food are very popular amongst foreigners. So what if we develop these products in kind of packaging from villager or as known as OTOP products? That also link with economic, which is the distribution of income. It also helps in economic ways, which means you give villagers work, they earn money and you got products. Moreover, it's good for reducing inequality too.
In the other hand, I think that the first thing is government should take it more interest in it. As you know that already all people in our country is incredible. They have many skills but they don't have any capital. So that's the reason why our country is under the road. The government didn't take interest enough. So if I win this election and be a president, I will give a capital to the people who want to produce some products. And if their products get attention from first investor, their products might be known around all the world.
I also agree all you three, and I would like to add more in my opinion, as normally people recognize products from packaging and design. The unique they look, the easier people will notice. Not only the design, but the ingredients and materials. If we upgrade the product to be high quality, it will be worthy for the companies and employees. Also, I want to add to support the creator to improve the product and have enough funds to be able to create products effectively.
That's a great idea. So during this time, how can you manage the COVID-19 pandemic effectively? Let's start with you.
As everyone knows that COVID-19 is terrible for us. We can't control them, but we have to make the people trust that it's gonna be okay. It will disappear one day, but we shouldn't tell them like maybe we have to stay with them forever, or maybe we have to wear a mask forever. Anyway, the government should think about quarantine or wearing a mask, or using hand gel, and always tell them about the news of number who infected.
From my point of view, I would lock down and order everyone to have a self-quarantine at home. Also, I would be support and donate to the country that invent the vaccines. Whereas to control the infection number, everyone should follow the rules and announcements from government strictly. And sometimes self-quarantine can be stressful. So we would have a hotline in each country or cities to stay connected with you guys and also to update the latest news and to relaxing. We would have several online activities on many social media.
I agree with them all. Nowadays, most of the people have phones and internet. I think this technology is very helpful for this situation. We have to be social distancing. I know that
Human is a social animal, but in this situation, we have to help each other. If we don't meet anyone except our family at home, we can control the epidemics of COVID-19. So the main point of this situation is the people. If everyone keeps stay at home and wash hands, we will get into the better situation soon.
So I also agree with her because humans are social animals, even though they stay all the time in the home. But it doesn't mean that they can control themselves because we wanted to see each other. And nowadays, people start lacking of responsibilities in managing COVID-19 because small amount of people start to stop wearing masks and become normal like we used to. I would like to support people to wear masks more often and provide stores and market to manage their stores to be safety and prevent from COVID too. I also wanted us to have lockdowns because this social distancing can help you from COVID. COVID is a new kind of virus that can happen not long ago. We might need to study for a vaccine or support countries that develop vaccine more often.
Thanks for the answer. So what do you think about the teen pregnancy? Let's start with Nambu.
For me, I think the teen mom are not ready to have their child, so I'm not sure that the baby will grow up with the good quality or not. I think we should accept the abortion in our country. If the baby grow up and they have no quality, it might cause the crime that affects other people. If they didn't get the job, maybe it's gonna increase poor people in our country and it will affect the economic in our country too.
Teen pregnancy are one of the issues that can happen in every country in this world. Everyone might went through this because some kind of an enforcement not availing. Teen pregnancy might cause many of them to drop out of school and become single-parent family. Not only the mother, but also the children that's born from teen pregnancy too. Children are unhappy because of maternal care from teen mom is not ready enough to raise them. We would like to make a new subject or improve health education to prevent teen pregnancy, like how to use condoms or have safe sex.
From my opinion, I think it's kind of a big problem because raising a child is not as easy as you think, as well as it also costs a lot of money. From my research, there are many disadvantages for both mom and baby. Remember that our brains are not fully grown and developed until we are about 26. Also, they have a fewer skills and be less prepared. Only less percent of teen parenthood or probably graduating high school or get into a college. So I don't support teen pregnancy, but if it had been happened, we will find a way. I trust that everything has a solution. And to solve this problem, I would develop this course about safe sex or sex education to teach them what's important.
So for me, I'm gonna talk about sex education. There are many teen moms in our country, and I think that they didn't want to make it happen. They just think about how funny they are, but they didn't think about the effect. In high school, educate about stop teen mom, but they don't teach them about how we protect it. They teach about we must use a condom, but don't teach about how we use a condom. We should solve this problem. So the first, we should solve education first, make them know how to protect it, because we can't stop having sex.
So the last question is, which social moral issue do you think is the most relevant and how would you change it? Let's start with Opal.
I think the most relevant social moral issue is suicide. It shows that people have mental illness and anxiety. As you can see, anxiety can be anywhere and from any people. Teens also have this problem too. They got it either from family or school. How would I change it is to make everyone understand more about this problem, and every school, workplace and town must have understandable doctors and psychologists.
Yeah, for me, I choose divorce because it affects the family. I think basically every kid should have both mom and dad to teach them in the right way. If they don't have mom or don't have dad, it may affect their feeling when they grow up. They can feel lonely and they will think that they have no, they don't have a warm family like their friends. It might cause depressive illness too. I think we should educate people in our country about the family. We should tell them that they should be sure that their wife or husband is good enough to have baby and they're ready. Because to look after a child is not easy. You should make sure that the baby will grow up in a good environment too.
I choose the violence against women and bullying. Every crimes and issues mostly come from bullying. It makes everything clear that people suffer from mental illness because of this. Bullying leads to many things such as suicidal from bully privilege. Studies of people's feelings make them decide there is no bullying. It would be peaceful. Also, the violence against women. All women should be treated right and equally. Women are also human too, so that didn't mean that men has more power to do things more. As the gender wages gap affects working women and families, women should have the same wages as men.
So I agree with her with some point. I think that being on social is the most variant. Getting bullied on social media can feel really terrible. Being connected to your phone, tablet, or computer all the time means that a bully can sneak into your life and make it feel like there's no safe place to be. But there are things we can do to stop online bullying. I want to suggest that when you found the account bullying some people, you just report it. And when you get bullied by someone, you just block them and take a break from social media.
So I want to say thank you for all of our candidates, and I very appreciate that. Good luck for you on the election day.
From 4 candidates that we've been listening to, I would probably choose Bang for be the president because she gave the ideas about to improve the exported product and the teen pregnancy. The details that she gave us about improve the exported product can be resumed that she gonna upgrade the product to increasing income of the city and to improve the economic of the country. Another idea that she gave us about teen pregnancy, she emphasized that it can actually happen in every country, and she created a new subject that educates the children about sexuality. From the 4 candidates, I will vote for Opal for sure because her important idea is environment, and I really agree with her with this point. Like she said that she would write a new eco-design engineering. From her research, she said that manufacturers can lower carbon emission by considering the environmental impact of a product. It wouldn't change straightly, but it changed day by day. The next important idea I would like to say is about social moral issue. She talked about suicide, and it is the most important issue in our country, and her idea is very great, and I'll agree with her.